Right, the first operator that I'm going to look at is the two of them, unary arithmetic operators plus and minus. And it's called unary because it operates on just one operand, as opposed to binary operators which have two operands. Now, if you want to see how that's used, it's something like this: I equals minus j, or k equals plus k, etc. If you see that as a statement, or that, it's that plus there and that minus there is a unary operator because it's operating on just one variable, which is k in this case and j in that case. Now, what happens is unary numeric promotion is performed first. Then the operator is applied, and plus in fact doesn't make any change at all, but minus obviously reverses the sign. And the only cases to consider that might be a little bit tricky are that which is minus the maximum possible int, and that which is the minimum, I should say, really, minimum negative integer. And of course minus naturally leaves those unchanged, because if you negate that just by complementing it and incrementing it, you get the same value. Now, the type of the result is the promoted type. So whatever you've had to promote it to through numerical promotion, that's the type of the result, and the value is obviously negative in that case and unchanged in that case. And for floating point types, obviously you just flip the sign, except for not a number, which of course is unchanged. That's fairly obvious there if you looked at my other lecture. Okay, now one point to be careful of because of that, k equals k is not the same thing as k equals plus k. Because if you look at this example, byte is a declaration of byte as being equal to, setting it to 42. B equals plus b will give you an error because of the plus b means you perform unary numeric promotion, which makes it into an integer, an int rather, and so therefore what's happening here is you've got a byte there and you're trying to set it to an int, which will give an error, and the compiler will object to that straight away. If you want to do that, you'd have to put a cast in front, which we might come to later. Okay, the next thing to look at is the prefix operators. Prefix, of course, because they come in front of whatever they're operating on. And these are plus plus and minus minus. And of course, note there's no space between those two pluses or there, otherwise it gets interpreted as something else. And the first thing to say is that these are applied to variables and not to values. So you can't put plus plus in front of something like that, because that's a value, not a variable. Now the result is a value whose type is the type of that variable. So it doesn't do any numeric promotion, or at least the value it returns is not promoted in any way. And this is what actually happens. First you take 1, which is an int obviously, because it's just an ordinary literal, and the value of the variable, and what you do is you subject that to binary numeric promotion, and for plus plus 1 is added, and for minus minus is subtracted from that value, and then it's stored back into the variable, and any narrowing is done. So you don't have to worry about any of that, and the value after you've stored it back in is the value of the expression. Okay, I'll give you an example in a minute, just to make that clear.